Okay, so a renter apparently contacted KPRC2 investigator Amy Davis after running into issues getting her security deposit back after she moved out. She says she left her duplex in good condition and gave 30 days notice, Andy. The only problem is, since she was renting month to month without a written lease, she didn't put her notice in writing.
Right, so now the landlord says that she forfeited her deposit because the notice wasn't written. In this week's Ask Amy episode, Donna Carney with Lone Star Legal Aid says that may not matter.
Security deposits are really held by landlords for a couple of reasons. One reason might be in order to recoup rent that wasn't paid. Sounds like that's not the issue here. The other reason that a security deposit is held is so that the landlord can be assured that there's no damage to the property. And it sounds like in this case, the landlord might have asked for a security deposit for that purpose. If the tenant and the landlord had agreed on a surrender date and the tenant did surrender by the date that was agreed, and if the tenant was paid, and it sounds like maybe the landlord had said the tenant was paid by a certain date, then the next question is, was there any damage to this property? And how does the tenant find out that information? What rights does the tenant have? If there's no written lease agreement, then the law is what controls. And the Texas Property Code is very, very clear that the tenant is entitled to an accounting if the landlord wants to withhold any part of that security deposit. In order for the tenant to trigger their rights, the tenant is required to send their forwarding address to the landlord.
If the landlord doesn't return the deposit within 30 days of receiving her forwarding address or explain why it wasn't returned, the renter can take the landlord to court. If she wins, she's entitled to 3 times the security deposit, attorney's fees, and $100. We've put all this information for you on clicktohouston.com. If you have a question for Amy, email askamy@kprc.com.